By the way, why'd they pick Pentagon? Like, why isn't it just a circle or a
Why
triangle?
isn't the hexagon?
Yeah. Why couldn't they just... I don't get that.
I like to think it has some sort of practical. It's like, oh, um, we need this amount of space.
We need this many sides in our
I don't know,
building
because like,
as the CIA.
is an architect given that assignment and is like, all right, like, yeah, I get, I just have to make a building for like the government, but like, I kind of want to make it a little bit interesting aesthetically.
Yeah. The architect was given the assignment, hey, can you build the Pentagon for us? We're not sure what it's going to look like yet. Oh, yeah. I think I got an idea of a shape at least.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
Oscar Wieners.
Oh, Alan Arkin died.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So sad. Like
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Was it today?
Yeah. That was announced today, maybe like last night.
Yeah. R.I.P. man.
Yeah, it is crazy.
He was really good in Argo.
He is really good in Argo.
He was, because like Ben Affleck plays kind of just like I don't know. He doesn't have much charisma to him. Like he's not like I didn't walk away thinking like, damn, Ben Affleck killed this shit. But Alan Arkin, I think, Alan Arkin and John Goodman inject a much needed dose of personality.
I agree.
So R.I.P.
R.I.P. Alan Arkin. Incredible actor. All right. Let's start this shit. Welcome to Oscar Wieners. The only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest night is American.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
God bless the United States.
Did you see when Biden said God save the Queen, man? Like he said that like last week. What the fuck's he talking about?
Well, first of all, the Queen's dead, but I like the little man at the end. Like, I would get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
God
with like
save
a
the
Biden on it, but
Queen,
with sunglasses on.
No context. I don't want a Biden on my shirt.
Really?
Yeah. I would get maybe his aviators.
You're a Kennedy man?
I'm a Kennedy man through it. I'm a Jimmy Carter guy.
Yeah. You know, I've heard nothing but I don't really, you know, I know about as much as U.S. history I know as much about U.S. history as I was taught in school. And the rest I get it from movies.
That's good. That's healthy.
Jimmy
yeah.
Carter I always thought was like a chill guy. This
Yeah.
movie kind of says otherwise.
Yeah, I think he's kind of not really.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? He's dead.
He's dead.
This is a weekly show where we talk about a Best Picture winner at random and try to figure
Cool.
out if it was Best Picture worthy. This week we're talking about Argo. First of all, I'm Benedict Affleck.
Is his full name Benedict?
No,
That would be a fun. How do you know? It might be
There's no way. It's
Benedict.
probably Benji.
Benji. And I'm Cat Daddy Davis. Pleasure to
Holy
meet
shit.
you. Pleasure to be on this show.
Play a little sax for us, quick.
Yeah. Are my levels peaking?
No, barely
Okay,
picking you
okay,
up.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I'm never gonna prance
Man, it's
again.
again.
Cornfields ain't got no rhythm.
What the fuck? Big Ben Affleck got no rhythm.
No,
So
I'm
he's
Michael.
going
Yeah.
to Iran. And Boy, he's gonna groove.
I'm Michael. He's Ander. This week we're
Nice.
talking about Argo, directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck, Bryan
wow.
Cranston, Alan Arkin, John Goodman, fucking Victor Garber is in this. Victor Garber.
No way. How did they get him?
Scoot McNairy, Clea Duvall, fucking
Just brush past Scoot.
It is a movie in based on a true story. During the Iran
Barely.
hostage crisis that began in 1979, when God, this is so politically
Just skip
fraught.
it.
We're in a politically fraught.
A bunch of shit happened.
A bunch of shit happens.
Yeah.
This maybe we're talking about this too much, but in the beginning there's like sort of an animated like here's the history really quick.
Yeah.
Like
Casablanca-esque.
right. And there's it's like there was a Shah who was like all the oil that is going to Western countries, we're reclaiming it. And the US was like, okay, we have to get rid of that guy. We have to stage a coup d'etat and insert our own guy who
we need
will
a guy on that.
keep oil stuff coming to us. I don't know.
We
This is
need
a
that
movie.
juice. Daddy needs his juice.
Daddy needs his juice.
Mm-hmm.
During the Iranian hostage crisis, which took place from 1979 to 1981,
Long time.
A lot of people are held hostage in the U.S. Embassy.
Like 50?
But yeah, 50 something.
Yeah.
And 6 Americans escape and are housed by the Canadian
Embassy.
Embassy. Canadian,
It's like Canadian
Embassy.
ambassador, yeah.
Canadian ambassador, that's what it is. And the CIA tries to
They're in this?
hatch a plan to get the 6 Americans out. And honestly, a pretty fun time ensues.
It's kind of fun, yeah. I don't think any of that stuff happened for real, or at least most of it. I would say 90% of the things that happened did not happen. I did like some scratch the surface research after watching this, and I was like, oh, a lot of this didn't happen. Which is fine, because it would have been a bad movie if they didn't dramatize it a little bit.
Well, I think didn't the plan like kind of basically go off without a hitch?
Yeah, nothing bad. Like they weren't the story that they had to the fake movie plot thread wasn't tested at all. Like they kind of just got through security with.
They were like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, something could have gone wrong. Like that was their real cover story, but no one really questioned them.
Right.
Like, do you think the CIA was on hand? Like, did they have to run shit by? Like, was Ben Affleck calling the CIA on the daily? They're like, you can't, Benedict, you can't put this swill in the movie. We'll be ruined.
I did look. It's on Wikipedia.
Oh, great.
But apparently, the CIA's PR department was involved in the production of Argo. I guess so. It's like, don't make us look too bad.
Damn, imagine doing PR for the CIA. Like, what does that job look like? This that you're seeing?
That never
didn't
happened.
Happen. Yeah, that never happened. That's
just
a guy
gaslighting the public.
Yeah, I think that's PR for the CIA.
It's like
yeah, that never happened.
We literally saw you.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like in this podcast, it's become clear that I love a movie about movies. Like the Fabelmans.
So does the Academy.
The Fabelmans is, is I sort of pray to Sam Fabelman at night to keep me in good health.
Fictional character, but okay. He has no. He has
you know
no
who else
sway.
is a fictional character?
Oh, very nice. Very good.
When this movie came out, I'm probably 15, maybe 16.
Pre-puberty, post-puberty? Are you like going through it? Like
I'm going through it.
Yeah.
I have a mustache growing on my
Don't
Dutch
say whatever
ass.
Okay, sure.
So I saw this movie, and also like I love the fact that they say Star Wars in this movie. Just saying Star Wars, I'm like, oh shit, that is sick. That's like all it takes for me.
Cinema.
Sometimes that's all it takes for me. If somebody's like, yeah, this is exactly like Star Wars, I'm like,
That's my bread and butter.
That's my bread and butter. So yeah,
but-
I love this movie. Like
Yeah.
when I saw it, it was one of my favorite movies of the year.
because they said Star Wars.
Because they said Star Wars, it was about doing a movie.
Okay.
That's like most of the Hollywood humor in this movie. It's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
bunch of sickos and fakes.
Yeah. It is funny because, you know, Ben Affleck is meeting with what's his character's name?
Alan Arkin?
No, Ben Affleck's.
Oh, Tony Mendez.
Well, doesn't he? Okay, that's like his fake name, right?
No.
He's
His
got
real name is
aliens.
Tony Mendez. His fake name is something else. It's like
Okay.
Kyle Douglas.
Okay. The most fake name I've ever heard. But yeah, Tony, he has all these tense meetings with the CIA, and they're all so buttoned up, and they're like, what do we do about this? Blah, blah, like very neutral tone. And then he goes and meets with, you know, the Hollywood side of the operation, and these guys are all, they're just movers and shakers. Alan Arkin is like making deals. He's kind of just a wily old director in Hollywood, and I like that juxtaposition.
See, I thought the opposite. I thought this movie, I don't think it's necessarily making this point, but it kind of does inadvertently make the point that like the CIA and Hollywood are similar, because it's just like you're staging a production and carrying
Okay.
out some kind of thing. And it's a bunch of blowhards
Okay, yeah.
arguing about shit.
I
And it's
mean,
like,
isn't it though? I feel like maybe that's an apt comparison. Who's to say? I only designed the Pentagon. I've never been in.
yeah, that's really
Yeah.
sick. It's a sick thing to put on your resume. Imagine putting that on your resume.
I don't have it.
It's all redacted.
Yeah,
it's all blacked out.
It's blacked out. Yeah, totally.
I think this movie is fun, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it should be fun.
That's a fair criticism. But couldn't you say
Yeah.
that about Inglourious Bastards or plenty of other movies?
Oh, you know, I can't even argue with that point. I don't know why. That's a good point. You're kind of
Well, you
stumping me. I don't know why obviously they're separate movies, but like I don't know why Inglourious Bastards works. You know what I think it is? I
Mhm.
think making fun of / brutalizing Nazis is like everybody wants to, well, not everybody, but a lot of people want to see that.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like if somebody's hitting a Nazi with a baseball bat, I'm a little bit like cheering.
Yeah.
But in this
That's-
case,
that's
I
the
feel
bad
like
guy.
right. I feel like the political stuff is more murky, and
Yeah,
it doesn't.
it's
The movie's not really interested in getting into that. Ultimately, it's a movie about we got to get these Americans out of here, and then when they get them out of there, it's like
Yeah.
hoorah, semper fi, good job.
Yeah, Uncle Sam, baby.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Remember the scene in the very, very beginning of the movie when you know the embassy, the American embassy, is being stormed, and the one guy in the building is like, "Let me see if I can go talk to him," and then he just goes out
That
there
was
immediately.
fucking crazy.
That was insane. That guy is immediately like taken, and they're just threatening him, and he's like, "Open the door again." That's how
I
they
also-
get in.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That opening sequence is very good. I think it's very tense
yeah,
and like scary. Just like the idea of people, like storming a place is scary. I also thought it was funny that like they're like, we gotta shred all the information. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking out of here. What are you talking about? I don't care. Have the information. I could give a shit less.
have it. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. Like, I guess the better move would have been to escape. That's another thing. Like, I don't know what they were looking for. Like, why did they have to destroy all the documents? Like, what was on those documents that was so important? I know the identities of people was important, but if you had left, you would have been fine. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have mattered.
Like
You
what
could
is
be
there really
sitting-
to do
you
with
could
that
be-
information?
Yeah, like you could be sitting in your lake house in freaking Wisconsin or whatever. Doesn't matter. You could have
Yeah.
gotten home. I don't know. Maybe not. And then they had those children piecing together the strands of the shredded documents.
That's
was-
probably a real thing that happens. I thought it was a
Yeah.
little bit silly every time they cut back to it, though.
It was pretty silly.
I'm like,
laughing a little.
come on.
It's like the world's most challenging jigsaw puzzle for this. It's like this 7-year-old just completed his first puzzle, and now it's like, all right, we have a giant stash of shredded papers. Just piece together all of them.
We don't have to keep talking about like how this movie fails history and the political complexity of the actual historical events.
I mean,
but
if you do any historical movie, it's a movie. Like, it's so hard to get down into the details of it and explore the nuance. It's just like it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna boil it down to the essentials and be entertainment value.
The movie is the movie. It's trying to be a fun romp.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to be a fun story. Well, not fun, but it's trying to be an entertaining movie about getting some people out of a situation and like planning the thing, executing the plan. It's such a good idea for a movie because it's such it's like, I'm sorry, the CIA approved making a fake movie to get 6 Americans out of Iran. That's insane.
Yeah.
There wasn't an easier thing to do.
But you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Well, there's that whole scene where they're kicking around different ideas, and they're like, what if we're on... And then Ben Affleck is poking holes in each one. It's like, it's wintertime. You think people are going to be here for an environmental thing? Whatever.
I did.
So that was interesting. Yeah, I like that whole sequence.
Is Ben Affleck good in this movie?
I don't think so. I don't think he's bad.
Get him.
Well, I don't think... I mean, we watched... we've seen the Brandos, we've seen the Gable I'll leave out, but we've seen a bunch of, Academy Award worthy performances.
Your Genes.
Yeah, your Genes, your what have you, your
Humphreys.
Yeah, your Humphreys, that.
Your Nicholsons.
Your Nicholsons, sure, but this was not that. In fact, I think his character as a whole was kind of weird. Like, they kind of shoehorned in the dad stuff that didn't really... I didn't need it.
I basically agree. I feel like it's just like, it feels like screenwriting 101 where it's like, all right, so Tony Mendez is our main character. He's got to have something other than just doing his job.
Yeah, he needs a son that he's estranged from.
Right. Who basically gives him the idea to pull an Argo, as we're going to call it on the podcast.
Which definitely didn't happen, right?
Yeah,
there's no way that kid.
His kid's like, yeah, I'm watching Planet of the Apes, and he's like, wait a second, we should make a fake movie. It's like such a big jump. I think, look, I talk about it all the time, but I think more movies would benefit from pulling a Tenet.
Oh, what? You're on this? This is real?
John David Washington. You know nothing about him. He has no ties to anything. But he's okay. He's charming and engaging as a performer. Even not even his character isn't necessarily charming, but he is engaging as a performer. You want to watch what he's doing because he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck is a skilled enough actor where if I knew nothing about him and he's just in the room and has authority and seems like he knows what he's doing, that's engaging enough. I don't need the backstory.
I agree with you. And I agree with that comparison. I think that time you pulled it off.
Just if you could bookmark, I think we should talk about it just at maybe a bonus episode. We talk about how Tenet and Casablanca are. I think we should relitigate that comparison because they're the same. I think you should just put it in the books.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Just write it down. Let me just see that you're writing it down.
I don't have a pen. Otherwise I would.
We have time. Just find a pen.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I have a pencil. Is that fine?
That's good. Yeah, that's fine. Just don't let it get wet or something. Don't let it smudge.
It is already kind of wet.
The paper.
And the pencil, too. What is it that you said? Tenet, Casablanca?
Are the same.
Yeah.
Put that in the books.
Oh, fuck. Pencil broke.
Fuck. I'll remember.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll revisit that, yeah.
What did you think of the performances? Do you think everybody's good?
I thought Alan Arkin and John Goodman were really good as the Hollywood execs. Everyone else was kind of just very CIA-y. CIA-I-O.
I think I think all of it. I think all the dialogue in this movie is a little bit too quippy. Like every line of like every scene ends with somebody saying like, "Sir, this is the best worst plan we have."
Yeah, that is true.
And it's
They
like,
do say that every
why do we have
time.
to end on a stinger every time? Especially Bryan Cranston's whole role. Like he's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bryan Cranston's pretty good.
If that role was played by a bad actor, it would be a disastrous role. But Bryan Cranston, like once he's trying to get the plan back on rails, like behind the scenes, so that Ben Affleck and the six Americans can get through like customs
Yeah,
at the
like
airport.
he's calling people last minute. Like they're at the gate and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we got to get him the tickets."
I think it's so funny though because Bryan Cranston is basically the entire time telling people to do their job. Like,
Yeah,
he says
that's
to
his
one guy,
whole role.
he's like, get in touch with this guy. He's like, how am I supposed to do that? He's like, we're the CIA.
Yeah, yeah. Figure
Do
it
your
out.
job.
Yeah.
I also wrote down, this is the kind of movie where men who have been at odds with each other throughout shake hands and exchange a meaningful look by the end.
Yeah. Yes. It's exactly the kind of movie this is.
Like every dad movie does that.
yeah.
It's like we can't be emotional outwardly, but
Right.
we shake hands. That's how men tell each other, I respect you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm not
Men
going to
can't say
say
thank
it.
you out
Yeah.
loud.
I won't say that to you out loud because that shows I'm weak. So I'll shake your hand. There is one scene. Remember the scene where this is unrelated to anything. So this
Like remember the scene in Clueless when Paul
Yeah.
Rudd.
Do you remember the Titans? There's this
Yeah.
great scene in Remember the Titans. There's a scene at the end of Argo where it's showing the American, like the CIA operatives, they're like popping champagne, everybody's celebrating, and then it just like cuts to the Iranian woman who staffed at the I think she was a maid at the Canadian embassy.
Yeah.
She's leaving the country, like she has to, because she lied for them basically. Like she
Yeah.
was involved in this whole plot. She basically lied to
Like
the soldiers.
the military police.
I don't know,
Or whatever,
yeah.
yeah.
So she has to flee to Iraq, and it's like it shows her. She's in this huge line of people waiting to get into this country. I think that was like the one bit of nuance this movie had, where it's like, here's this person who will not be celebrated or remembered.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like that's a good point. I feel like movies like this often have. She kind of fills this role, but her role is more minor than in the kind of thing I'm talking about. Where like I feel like a movie like this will often have the character in the place where like in the country where tensions are high, like they're like from there, they are maybe at have some kind of ideological different or differing opinion from the main character. But like they help with the plan in some way, and then by the end they're the guys who shake hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you have any final thoughts on Argo?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you like it?
I do, yeah. I think I think maybe the historical context kind of takes it down a notch, where it's like maybe this could have been more nuanced of a conversation. Hard to do that, I understand, but I think that would have taken it from good to great.
I agree. This is a year where I thought I would have seen more movies than I did in the Best Picture category. Let's go through them though. So, other nominees include Amor.
The hell is that?
Huh?
What is that?
What's up?
Amor.
I know this movie. What is it?
Movies, please.
Retired music teachers. Georges. I think is Amor is French? No, it is a French movie.
Ugh.
Georges and Anne have spent their lives devoted to their careers and to each other. Their relationship faces its greatest challenge when Anne suffers a debilitating stroke. So it's kind of I remember hearing very
Boring.
good things about. Fuck.
Snooze fest. Next.
You ageist ass.
Next.
Um, next is a movie I always meant to see but never have, Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Oh, I have seen that. Now who's the host, huh? I've seen
host.
Beast of the Southern Wild.
Or co-host, but yeah.
That movie was
weird.
Weird, yeah. I don't know. I didn't really love it. It was just, I don't know if anything really happens. It's just a lot of wandering around the bayous.
So you have mid thoughts on that movie, or like it's fine?
Yeah, I think I made out to it.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I do think I did. Yeah, I don't know if that's.
Wait, like in the theater? Hold on. Sorry, this is make a little. Wait, what?
Not in a movie theater.
But at home. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Andrew's makeout corner. So like create like a little graphic where it's like you going like. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Cool. Everyone's gonna love this.
Andrew's makeout corner.
Describe the scene.
Yeah, so I'm on the couch.
And name names, address.
Okay, yeah. So
it was Amelia Bedelia.
Charlene 29. It was a movie that was like so boring that it was like, let's make out.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Not so boring, but like
it didn't hold your attention.
I wasn't. Yeah. Like, have you ever been watching a movie? You're with your sig-o and you're just like, you know, maybe it's in your mind, like maybe we're gonna do some smooching or something, but then the movie is so good that like you're both just like fixated and you're like, oh shit, this movie's fucking good.
That happened in the last few months, me and my SO were watching Little Women, the Greta Gerwig movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really think we were gonna smooch.
It's always in the back of your mind.
It's always like, we could smooch.
Yeah.
But then I was like, basically the first 5 minutes of that movie, I just started crying because I'm like, this movie's so nice. And then for the next 2 hours and 10 minutes, I was in tears. So not really the best to kiss your beloved with a snotty nose.
That's kind of nice.
I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
God, kissing's so good. We should have a sequel podcast just about kissing.
A kissing podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We can like kiss random people on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool and fun, and people would really enjoy that.
Yeah. Next up is Django Unchained.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yo, how do you beat out Django? That's such a good movie.
I don't know how I feel. Okay, so when I saw this movie, this was my favorite movie of that year at that time. I was obsessed with Django. So I remember seeing it. I was like, because Inglourious Bastards is like the movie that made me love movies.
Right.
And Django was the next newest Quentin Tarantino movie, like post Inglourious Bastards, where I was like, oh, now I'm obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
I love his movies, and now there's a new one, and I get to experience it as like a viewer for the first time. And I remember I was obsessed with it. I would watch that opening sequence like on.
What's that?
That's a torrenting website.
We're not promoting torrent sites.
I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying that's what I did when I was 16.
Practically sponsored.
Don't steal. I understand why you would steal. Just
unless it's like from a bad person. Like steal Annie Hall and watch it.
Yeah, steal Annie Hall.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait till we cover that fucking goddamn movie.
That's the first time I'm gonna torrent something, I think, because I don't want to give.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want to give Woody my money.
That's good. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, so we'll see about that.
It sucks that movie's a masterpiece.
Yeah, whatever.
So Django Unchained, I remember watching it leading up to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I watched it again, and I was like, I don't know about this movie. Like, it's good. It's like incredibly well made, but something about it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Interesting.
But maybe I was just in a bad mood that day.
So not Oscar worthy?
I like it more than Argo for sure. I think it's honestly, I think it's a way better movie than Argo.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even with my mid reaction to it upon rewatch a few years ago.
Okay.
You like Django?
I like it over Argo, definitely.
Hell yeah. Next up is Les Miserables.
Really?
Yeah. The oh, fuck it, the King's Speech guy directed it. I forget his name. Tom Hooper? I think that's right.
Weird name. Um.
Don't be mean to him.
Yeah,
He's next week's guest.
Sorry. Yeah, that was messed up of me.
Christ.
Yeah, I don't know why. Get that out of my face. I think Les Miserables. I don't know why.
You've always said that.
Pretty much. I mean, the music is good, but like, what the fuck? It's not even a movie.
It's not a movie?
It's hardly a movie. It's a play that's just on TV. Right?
What are you talking about?
Am I wrong?
I mean, it's based on a
fucking
novel,
play.
which was adapted into a musical, which was adapted into a film.
Fucking who gives a shit? Why is it nominated for Best Picture?
Because it's good, I guess.
It's
man.
two other things before it's a movie. And
Yeah.
it's gonna win the award for Best Movie.
It didn't win, so why are you pissed about it?
Put fucking... I'm sure there was another movie that came out in 2012 that was good that could have taken its place. Fantastic Mr. Fox, I think, came out in 2012.
2009.
Fuck!
Well, actually, Moonrise Kingdom came out. Okay, you need to calm down.
Shit! I thought I had it.
Moonrise Kingdom came out that year though, and it's not nominated. Just a little spoiler.
That sucks.
So I would probably, I like Moonrise Kingdom, so I'd put it in the place of Les Miserables.
I would, yeah.
Next up is Life of Pi. Haven't seen it.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Ong Lee film.
Moving on.
Moving on. Next up is a movie I saw.
So many movies.
Yeah. I saw as a double feature. Same director, 2 movies. Saw it. Did a double featured it in the same day with my father. Thought it was incredibly boring and stupid, but I think if I watched it now, I'd be like, this movie fucking rips. And it is Steven Spielberg's Lincoln.
Oh, Spielberg did that?
Yeah.
Also, didn't that come out the same year as Abe Lincoln Vampire Slayer or whatever that movie was?
Maybe. That sounds right. Or maybe like 2011, around then. That's when that movie came out. Yeah.
The public was Lincoln crazed at that time.
The public was like, Link making me crazy.
Yeah, big time. Lincoln Logs, Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
Everything. The whole 9.
Have you seen Lincoln?
No.
I feel like I'd really like it now. I think I was just a restless
Youth.
I'll say it, horny 15-year-old.
Irrelevant, but okay. Fine. Just a wayward youth.
Next up is Silver Linings Playbook, directed by David O. Russell.
Really?
A pretty good movie. I mean,
yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I forget what happens.
Best Picture worthy? Probably not.
It's a weird choice.
And finally, I mean, this makes sense, is Zero Dark 30, directed by Catherine Bigelow.
Oh, how the cookie crumbles.
Oh, how the Bigelow Catherines.
That is odd, right? I feel like Zero Dark 30, and I think you would agree with me, I think it's the better execution of this movie, of Argo. Right?
Here's the thing. The Academy, and also America as a whole, not to get political, likes their narratives crisp and unambiguous. And Zero Dark 30, from what I remember, is a murky narrative about the messy hunt for Osama bin Laden.
I think that made it more interesting, but
I agree. I think it makes it makes it a more interesting movie.
Yeah.
But the Academy is like, but it's not fun.
But it is. I mean, it's not fun, but like, there's the scene where they go and get Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's like one of the best sequences of that year for sure. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But like once they kill him,
you can leave the movie theater.
I guess there is catharsis though, because then I think the last shot is Jessica Chastain, excuse me. I was like, what the fuck? Jessica Chastain like on a plane getting that news, and then she starts crying, and it's like pretty cathartic, and then cut to credits.
Chastain on a plane.
I'm leaving on a Jessica Chastain. So those
is that the last one?
That's the last one.
I think probably a couple swingers in there that could take Argo out. Could have replaced it. I like Argo. I think it's pretty good. I don't like it as much as Django. I don't like it as much as ZD3.
I think the Southern Wilds deserved a W that day.
Sure. Yeah.
Is Argo Best Picture worthy though? Would you say? I know you like movies more than it, but is it don't rub your Adam's apple. You weird ass.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Is it? I don't know. I think no. If it's not better than the other movies in the category this year, I think that's a no. I don't know. If you put Argo in fucking 1940 and said is Argo Best Picture, then yeah.
I don't know. I think How Green Was My Valley is gonna fucking rip.
I don't know, man. I'll believe it when I see it and hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, want to hear what the people have to say?
Yeah, tell me.
Can I get a name that rhymes with Caitlin?
Caitlin with a K.
Okay, cool. Caitlin with a K says, 2 stars. Me when my bald centrist history teacher makes me watch pro-America propaganda starring Walter White and Gone Girl's cheater husband for extra credit.
Gone Girl's cheater husband.
Is that a review? There were a lot of reviews that really called out Ben Affleck for having a shirtless scene in his own movie.
He's like, he's like barely shirtless though. It's like the way it's framed. His shirt's like, I mean, his shirt's obviously off, but like you don't really see much, and then he immediately puts his shirt on.
Yeah, I didn't
right
think
away.
It was that egregious.
Yeah.
Could I get a name of somebody who shops at Boscov's?
Fuck is Boscov's?
It's like an Old Navy for the Midwest. In Iowa.
Why do you know that, man?
Because I go every weekend.
Bosco's, you said?
Boscov's.
Boscov's.
It's where I get all my teas.
That's where I get all my jeans.
And my dungarees.
Boscov's. Nikolai.
Okay. Nikolai says, 2 stars. Ben Affleck directing another movie where he plays the coolest, smartest, handsomest man in the world who's also a great dad. Saves the day with absolutely no help from the Canadian government. It was all the CIA, go America. Thanks to the power of Hollywood. Haha, making movies is wacky, but also the most important thing in the world when you really think about it. That was, I believe, sarcasm. Not shocked this won Best Picture, but definitely shocked by how little it made me feel. Sorry to hear that, Nikolai.
Sometimes I'm annoyed when stuff moves me. Like on the plane, once like the flight attendant is like, we'll be serving drinks in a second. You can like unfasten your seatbelts or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yes, and they all hug. I actually like started to tear up a little bit, and I'm like, literally, fuck me.
Why?
I am Benedict Arnold.
What?
Put me
Why? You can
in
get
the
emotional.
gulag for that.
So unnecessary. Also, I didn't like that scene. I was like, you guys should kind of still keep a low profile. Like, what if someone on this plane is like, oh, it's those American scum, and it's like, I'm just gonna kill you guys, right?
Yeah, I wonder because they were flying with like a Swiss airline.
Yeah, but there could have been passengers on the plane who were irate at the Americans.
Right. That's fair.
I would have stayed mum. 2 stars. This is by Ben Affleck himself. Thought Ryan Gosling was the lead for the first half. Immediately got less interesting after I realized it wasn't.
I feel like people still to this day really don't like Ben Affleck. When this movie came out, this was confirmation of Ben Affleck's reascendance to the upper echelon of Hollywood. Because I feel like he
Where'd he go?
basically a laughing stock. And then he started
When?
like 2000s, late 90s. He was kind of a laughing stock. People didn't take him seriously. They were like, yeah, you like won an Oscar for co-writing Good Will Hunting, but Matt Damon probably did all that work, right? Ben Affleck, you're just an idiot.
Really?
Yeah, that was the vibe. And then he starts directing movies, and it's like, wait, he's actually kind of like The Town kind of fucks.
Oh yeah, The Town.
The Town is good. It seems like Ben Affleck makes movies because even Air just came out, the Michael Jordan, like based on that Ben Affleck directed that. He sort of makes movies that don't get made anymore, which is like sort of the mid-budget adult,
Yeah.
either drama or thriller.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. Thank God for Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Thank the Lord above. Yeah. Last review. This one's from Jessica Chastain. 2 stars. Had to watch for school, so already not a sleigh.
Jessica Chastain had to watch it for class.
Yeah, she had a class. She had
Are these
a
like high
civics
schoolers?
class.
Are these high schoolers who
I
like
think-
have a letterbox?
Yeah, I think a lot of high schoolers were forced to watch Argo
That's so cute.
for civics or whatever. I don't know, for comparative government.
I find that so sweet though that a 16-year-old is in like a civics class and is like watching Argo and is like, God, I can't wait to log my letterboxed review. You know, that gives me hope that this new generation, these Zoomer asses, actually care about cinema.
I mean, that's a kid that's getting bullied, right?
No,
and deservedly so, right? Say you agree with me.
I'm actually really thinking about like bullying and how it exists probably now.
You're crying.
I'm sort of crying.
Yeah.
I'm sort of weeping. I'm sort of jeeping. I bought a
What does that
Jeep
mean? Today?
right now. I've been sort of online shopping
While we were doing this?
this entire time.
Where'd you buy your... Was it Carvana?
It was sort of this guy named Gary on Craig's
List? Okay.
Craig's gist, as in, do you get the gist of Craig? The gist of Craig is that he's kind of fine.
The whole statement is foul. I hope your Jeep has water damage.
It does. It's underwater. I have to
It's
fish
already
it out.
underwater.
Yeah, I paid $7,200 for that shit.
To dig it out of the ravine?
Yeah, but it's only has 40,000 miles on it though.
It's still a lot for being in the river.
Huh?
I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, I'm through.
Wow, you're absolutely pissed.
I'm finished, yeah.
I want to choose a much better movie than this. I haven't seen this movie, but we're gonna have to go with a stinker. So next week we're talking about
What?
next week. There's too many good movies that I want to just hold off on a little bit. Let's get a stinker out of the way. Next
That
week we're
is
talking about
Foul.
a musical adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic novel Oliver.
No, fuck you.
A bunch of singing orphans.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
It's on HBO Max and it's 2.5 fucking hours. So
Is it really?
Yeah.
Grand. Awesome. I can't wait to watch this sweeping epic.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking probably be bad.
When did it come out? Is it
I
old?
think it was 68.
Okay, so it's pretty old.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna neutralize my tone. We're gonna do clean slate for Oliver. No judgment. Maybe it's a masterpiece.
That's true. Maybe it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Oh, that's this?
More? Yeah.
All right, it's worth it for that alone.
Yes. That happens
Alright.
5 minutes in though.
Oh fuck. Okay.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it. So
Let's do
check us next week. Check back in next week when we talk about Oliver, Stone or otherwise.
Yeah.
And until then, take care, wieners, and make sure to dip your heinies in mustard and your heads in ketchup.
Okay.
Fuck. Monica, cut that out.
No, it's good. Perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that microbait shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. These boys are the Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners.
Stinky.
Poo poo.